The entire Boston Red Sox organization needs to be ashamed of themselves and should be banned from Boston from entering any Red Sox facilities permanently and with immediate effect, because they have destroyed the club, and the club is on course for the worst record in my lifetime, worst losing record. They, I think, hold the worst record in the MLB. Was it 31-46? 15 games under 500, 15 games behind in the American League. And this was a team that was supposed to be challenging and competing for, a division title. This was a team that was right up there with the teams that had gone into the offseason and actually attacked and really addressed what many thought to be the most pressing issues, which did not turn out to be the case. Starting pitching has probably, out of all sort of the categories, has been the Red Sox best weapon. Very reliable Ranger Suarez, very reliable Sonny Gray. Tooley early, thankful that we've had them. And obviously the loss to Anthony and to Crochet is not insignificant. We'll speak about that in just a moment. But for large stretches, the relief pitching has been horrendous, and the hitting. I don't think you have a guy in there batting over 280. A lot of players batting between 180 and 240, 250. Contreras the lone bright spot, but he's also been on a slight decline. Jaron Duran entered a brief stretch, perhaps I think it was May, where we thought, okay, this might turn some heads, 4 or 5 homers, 6 homers in the month. But aside from that, the Red Sox have hit the fewest homers. They've probably accumulated the fewest hits. A lot of singles, that's what they're relying on. Sort of old school baseball. And that's not going to cut it for a team that wants to go far. And so I think the strategy that you now have to adopt includes understanding, facing the grim reality, understanding where you are as an organization, making the structural changes that you need, and trying to get as much value as you can from the players that you can still trade. And just let promote a lot of players and let the youth sort of dictate where this club goes this year. You have nothing to lose at the end of the day, right? The only thing is can you get much worse from here? Probably not. Playoffs are over. Red Sox need to come to terms with that, and promote Campbell. Get just play with no fear. I think that needs to be the motto. Painting this picture of, okay, we can still aim for something. No chance. That, I think, will only make the situation worse, because the Red Sox will try too hard. What do I attribute this to? I attribute this to bad decision making over the course of 2 years. I think last season we were a better baseball team for 2 reasons. We still had Alex Cora, and we had a leader in Alex Bregman. Contreras somehow is not the answer. That's okay. Bregman, more experience, a better player, better all-around player. And the Red Sox believe that signing Caleb Durbin, who has been better of late but still under par, and Contreras were going to be the only fits we needed. In fact, we traded for Durbin to bolster the offense, and we're still lacking power. So, at the end of the day, this Red Sox team has regressed despite the acquisitions. And firing Cora, yes, I mean, you can't fault the front office for coming to that conclusion. I agree in that it was hard to see a direct path with him and to see where this organization would go in the future. And now with the interim manager, just ride it out for as long as you can and hope for a better second half to the season. Obviously, the Red Sox should just win. Just play without fear. If I'm the coach, I'm telling them to my players, play without fear, play with swag, play the game as you know it, and come together as a team. Count your blessings, and fundamentally remember who you're with, because this team will change, and it might change as soon as we enter the trade deadline. That's how soon it will end, and there will be visible structural changes that these players need to prepare for. So enjoy the last few games, weeks with the players that you're surrounded with, and just be prepared for a lot of change and necessary change. And then I also think that keeping Garrett Crochet and Anthony out for the rest of the season is a smart move. I think that's what the Red Sox are kind of subtly hinting at with all these further pushback return dates. Weird that we've heard nothing from Oviedo, that we've heard nothing from the pitcher, pitching to Tanner Houck, nothing Sandoval. I mean, the Red Sox had a very promising pitching core. That's slowly diminished. And now you're sitting there asking yourself, where would we have been without where would we have been without Sonny Gray and Ranger Suarez? So here we are. The worst has gone wrong, and it can't get much worse. So that's where the Red Sox are at, and play with no fear. That's the motto that they have to put out there.